Hello there. So that wasn't quite the smooth entrance I was planning with that drone shot. But yeah, anyway, the video is about gathering some more wild food for our freezer, mainly wild meat. Yeah, we're in the bush for the next couple of days. The weather is pretty wet. It's been raining all day and sort of just cleared up now. And yeah, for the next couple of days we're going to be backpack hunting in the bush. There's been some wild dogs hunting this area. So damn good, man. Yeah, why am I looking shady? Why is it night time? Hopefully be able to get some meat to put in the freezer. Yeah, the freezer at home is really empty at the moment. It's pretty bad. We've only got a couple of meals left in it as far as meat goes, so yeah, those last couple of deer we did in that last video, we've eaten all of them. It's taken about 3 months. We did give a bit of it away though, so we didn't quite eat it all ourselves, but we ate most of it. So yeah, there's a chance we could get a pig or a deer today or in the coming days. I have got my little friend with me, Kiwi. So yeah, she's in charge of the pig catching, pig hunting department. Sweet, I'm gonna walk up a ridge up behind me here, and we're gonna walk towards an area where there's a few nice slip faces, and because the weather's wet, I'm thinking it's raining today, I think it's gonna be a bit finer tomorrow. So once that rain clears, there'll be deer out on the slips, hopefully. That's usually what happens. They come out in the open areas when the sun comes out, because they're sick of being out, you know, they're sick of being in the wet bush, like we all get like that when it's been wet in the bush, and deer are no different. So yeah, that's the plan. Hopefully it works out one way or another, but yeah, we'll keep you posted. Sweet. Right, so Kiwi's looking really keen on this side down here. She's been going down into this gut. Oh, she's hit a pig, I can hear her bailing. We better get down there. You did your best, mate. You did your best. You can't catch them all, unfortunately. Bugger. So yeah, the pig got away. she was on it for quite a while, but it was just kept running, it kept crossing over the ridge. So I was having trouble. I'd go down one side and then I couldn't hear her. Had to go back up to the top and then they were down the other side. And you must be too scary, Kiwi. Scared it away. So yeah, I'm sweating now, far out. I was already wet on the outside and now I'm wet underneath too. Yeah, we've still got a couple of k's of walking to get to where I want to camp. But yeah, we'll go back up to the ridge where I left my main pack and we'll carry on and see, see what else we can bump into. Right, so I've just peeled off the ridge now. We're about 500 metres from our slip spot, from where those slips are. They're just sort of over a saddle at the end of this creek gut that we've just dropped into. I was just getting really cold up on the ridge there. There was a wicked wind coming over it and it was just pissing down, and yeah, I was getting a wee bit cold, so I decided I'd drop in out of the wind and yeah, just set up camp. Set up a bit of a camp here, and there's heaps of firewood here. There's a big tortita there, and then around the corner there's a big old rata about the same size, so heaps of firewood. Rightio, so we got our camp set up. Not a bad little setup for a fly actually, it's quite cosy. Kiwi's on rations today. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have some nice fresh meat for her to eat. So we're all cozy now, back in camp. Kiwi looks pretty at home in here. So yeah, we've had a few questions about why do I sleep in a hammock as opposed to like a tent or something. And it's mainly for days like today, you know, when it's really wet. And you can see the ground here is still super wet. So if I was just in like a normal tent, I'd just be, yeah, on wet ground. So yeah, the hammock keeps you off the ground. That's the main reason I like it really. I can just set it up. I don't need flat ground either. Like right now I'm on the side of a pretty steep hill. And yeah, if I was sleeping on the ground I might be slightly concerned I'd roll off in the middle of the night, so that's another bonus. Yeah, one thing with these hammocks that a lot of people find, and I find as well, is that you can get a cold lower back or cold ass when you're sleeping in them. So I always try and put something underneath me in the hammock, like I've got my raincoat underneath me in here, and it's cozy as with that. I'm not cold at all on the back, so yeah, I'll either take that or I've got my oilskin possum fur jacket. I'll take that if it's really cold weather. And yeah, I'll usually wear most of my clothes in my sleeping bag too if I'm in my hammock. So that is one thing about them. Yeah, it's not quite as cozy as sleeping on the ground, so you do have to kind of accommodate for that. Righto, so day 2. Still really windy and cold today. Man, it was a cold night. Yeah, we're going to go and have a look at those slips now. Hopefully this wind isn't too bad over the hill there. They probably won't be out in the open if it's too windy, but we'll stalk our way there anyway and yeah, see what the day brings. Sweet. Oh, I just found a dead deer here. No signs of a bullet hole or anything. There's something's had a chew on its shoulder though. Something's had a chew under there too. Hey, then I walked up the creek a little bit further and there's actually another, what's probably here, fawn dead in the creek up here. So yeah, a bit strange. I don't know what happened to them. There is the odd wild dog getting around in here, so maybe it was just a dog got them both. And yeah, I don't know. Oh well, after seeing those 2 dead deer down in the creek there, I was suspicious that there's been some wild dogs hunting this area. And now I'm pretty sure there has been, because there's another one down here. Young Roosa stag down there. Just a young one. Yeah, you can see there it's all sort of bruised. There's not actually any bullet holes. They've just been holding it on the leg. Bloody biting it on the nose. Oh, well, that might be why Kiwi had trouble catching that pig yesterday. If there's wild dogs around, it's probably pretty wary of the dog. So yeah, that's the result of people bringing dogs in the bush and not taking them out with them, leaving them behind. Oi, get out of it. You take a dog up the bush, you gotta take it home with you. More evidence of the wild dogs. There's a dead possum here. Hasn't been plucked or skinned. Just about guarantee that was a dog. Okay. Alright, so we're back at camp and yeah, unsuccessful today, so that's a bit of a bugger. Yeah, I went down to that slip and it was just really windy down there, and yeah, there was a bit of dog shit around as well, so I ended up stalking pretty much all day after that. stalked through some really nice areas and found a few more dead deer and found some fresh sign, fresh shit and fresh prints, but yeah, just what didn't quite come together for us. So yeah, I was planning on having a really nice dinner tonight at least. I had brought in potatoes and kumara and thought, oh man, that'll be real good with a bit of venison and, you know, a bit of pork fat. Oh, but yeah, no luck so far. I had to get a bit of fungus even to put in my put in my pot tonight to bulk up my meal. But yeah, it didn't taste too bad, to be honest. So yeah, we'll just see how we get on tomorrow. Sweet as, I'll see you then. Right, so we got something to take home now, so I'm pretty happy with that. Right, so I've just hung the deer up here, I've got the guts out of it. Yeah, because I'm quite far into the bush, what I'm thinking is I might just bone this deer out right here and then put it into my pack. And then I'll just have to tie some things to the outside of my pack so it can all fit, but at least that way I only have to do one trip. Whereas if I take it out whole, I'm going to have to do 2 trips and it's quite a long way, so I might just bone it out here. I'm going to have to bone it out at home anyway, so yeah, I'll just take my time. Kiwi, come here. The tongue, the eyes, liver, kidneys, and the heart. It's all going in the bag along with all the normal meat cuts. We got our meat all cooling down now. Back leg, another back leg up there, front quarters up there. My back steaks here, one has skin on still. Quite interested to see how that goes. I've got a bit of skin there too, just on its own. And yeah, while we're waiting for that stuff to cool down, I think I might cook up some lunch. Cook up some of that heart for lunch and then get out of here. Sweet. Oh man, I'm looking forward to this. Look at it. Oh man. All that melted butter in there. So good. Man, she's got some weight to it now. Okay, so it's the next day now. It's been about 24 hours since we shot this deer. So the meat's good to be cut up now. And yeah, the steak cuts will go in the fridge for a couple of days yet, and then all the mince, we'll chuck that straight in the freezer. Right, probably about 2/3 of the way through, got a fair bit of steak. I've kept the eye fillets and the back steaks whole this time, just so that we can cook them up whole if we want to, or slice them up thinner, or to put in a stir fry or something. Got a heap of cubed meat for mincing, mix that with some possum meat shortly. We've got all our organs there. They can go straight in the freezer today. Yeah, we'll keep them nice and fresh. So, righto, so the last job is to do our mincing. So I've got a couple of nice fat possums here. Just got them out of the freezer this morning and skinned them. I've got a heap of possums in the freezer for pet food. I'm doing a few possums for pet food at the moment and selling them. So I had heaps to choose from, so I just picked the real nice fat ones. You can see these possums are really fat, so that'll just go really nicely with our lean venison mince. Yeah, I'll get to boning these out and then we'll chuck it all through the mincer. Sweet. Oh man, look at all that mince. So yeah, there's a few wild turkeys getting around on the farms around here, and they're sort of considered a bit of a pest. They're an introduced species to New Zealand, and they eat a heap of grass, just a heap of stock feed basically. And yeah, they've got no predators in New Zealand, so they just keep growing in numbers if they're left to themselves, and you just get mobs of like 50, 60 turkeys just walking across farms and eating a heap of grass. So the farmers really want them controlled, and so I've been doing a bit of turkey control, and I've been selling the bodies for pet food, so it's kind of a good win-win for everyone. The farmer's happy, and I get a little bit of money for them, and you know, people who have pets get to feed their pets some nice quality wild meat. Yeah, even vegans who have dogs need to feed them something, so I think everyone's happy with the situation, but maybe not the turkeys. But yeah, tonight we're not getting them for pet food, we're getting some for our own freezer to put on our own table. So yeah, why am I looking shady? Why is it night time? That's probably the best time to get turkeys, if you can work out where they're roosting in a tree. Then you can sneak up on them at night and and shoot a couple out of the tree before the rest of them fly away. So yeah, we'll go and see if we can find them anyway. Sweet. Right, so we just shot a couple of turkeys out of this big old pine tree here. You can see there's been a few roosting here, there's a lot of droppings underneath it. And yeah, they rolled down this hill here, so we'll go and find them. There's turkey number 1. And down there's turkey number 2. And so those are a couple of really nice young birds. They're yeah, sort of 2/3 grown, I guess, 2/3 the size of a really big adult one. But that's exactly what we want for our freezer. So it doesn't take long to get the bulk of the feathers off them. So this is all quite new to me. I'm not used to dealing with birds, but I've learned a few things in the last couple months. That's called the crop, and that holds all of the grass and stuff that the bird eats first. And then it has a gizzard down in here, which is like what we would call a stomach, and it has a whole heap of rocks in it that grind up all the grass and food. But yeah, I'll whip open this crop and then we'll be able to see what the turkey's been eating. And so yeah, this is the crop, and it's chocker. Plenty of tucker in there. What do we got? Pretty much what's on the ground here, just beautiful pasture, nice, lots of clover. Lots of grass. Dandelion flower. And so this is the gizzard. So I guess what we would call the stomach, or the gut. And all those little rocks, yeah, they just grind up the food, I guess. Pretty unreal. Pretty different to us mammals. Very different system, but it obviously works for them. And you can actually eat this thing, so you can tip all that stuff out. And then sort of take that layer of rough stuff off it. And you can eat like that nice, meaty, fatty stuff. Oh man, check it out. A couple of Christmas turkeys. Pretty awesome. Fat as. Got the gizzards and the livers in there. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, what I'm going to do with these when I get them home, I'm going to take the breast meat out of them. And yeah, I'm keen to have breast meat for just crumbing and having kind of like a chicken tender, but it'll just be a turkey tender. And then yeah, the rest of them probably might roast the legs or just roast the whole frame, breastless frames. Put them in the slow cooker, something like that. They should just come up mint. Right, so we're off to get deer number 2 now. So yeah, it's early morning, the sun's only just come up, and we're going to sneak our way up this creek. The wind's flowing down it, so we're just going to stalk into the wind and see how we get on. Sweet. So it just started to rain about 10 minutes ago, and yeah, I was just sneaking up the creek here and just spotted a deer. And yeah, just flukily I had the camera running. I was trying to get a walking shot at the same time, and luckily I'd walked far enough to see that deer before I turned around to get the camera again, but it's a hard case. Yeah, we'll just give them a couple of minutes. It's always good to wait a few minutes after you've shot a deer just to let the deer lie down and die. If it's got too much adrenaline, if you're chasing it, it'll just keep going sometimes. So yeah, we'll just wait a little bit and we'll go and get to work. Sweet. So we have had a few questions in our last video about parasites, and do we have parasites in New Zealand like ticks and what's the other one, leeches. And I don't think we have leeches in New Zealand, pretty sure, but we do have ticks. And this deer's got quite a few ticks on it. Oh, there's one there just crawling along. So yeah, there's a tick that I just pulled off the deer. So yeah, that answers your question. Do we have ticks in New Zealand? Yes, we do. And they get really bad in the warmer parts of the country, and in summertime they get real bad. This deer's actually got quite a few of them on it. And I'll have to have a good bloody scrub when I get home after carrying this out, but yeah, it must be a pain for the deer, you know, walking around with all those parasites on it. You can see them all on there, and that's kind of probably why it's got this rub mark on its neck where the hair's really short because it's been trying to bloody scratch those buggers off. But they're obviously holding on alright. But yeah, even the deer doesn't seem particularly affected by it. It's got a fair bit of fat in it. There's some of the fat I've saved off it there. It's a nice big old barren hind, so yeah, she's in pretty good nick, which is awesome. So I'm just getting the deer ready now for carrying it out whole. So I'm just going to put a cut in on this knee here and not go right through, just do halfway. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a cut on either side of the shin down to my halfway cut on that knee joint. Do the same on the other side. And now I'm going to try and sort of crack the knee joint so it comes loose a little. So just sort of bend it one way or the other. Yeah, that's sort of what we're looking for. So yeah, that's what we're after. And then what we're trying to do is basically take this bone off while leaving the skin and the tendon under here on. So yeah, that's what we got there. Basically, tendon and skin attaching the shin bone. And yeah, done the same on the other leg. These are the front legs, by the way. And now we've got our back legs. All you got to do here is just poke a hole between the Achilles tendon and the leg bone. So you don't want to make it too big, but yeah, about that size. And then yeah, you just join the two together basically. So I usually go inside. So I put the front foot through our hole we've made in the back from the inside out. And then push it through. And that sort of locks. And you do the same on the other side. And you got yourself a backpack. Just going to give it a quick spray with some peppermint oil and water, keep the flies off. Righto, so it's a couple of days later now. The deer's been hanging for a wee while. So yeah, I'll get to skinning this now. Right, so we got the skin off now. And you can see there's actually a fair bit of fat on this deer, which is awesome. Fair bit of fat on the rump there. So yeah, I'm going to trim it up and use the fat for cooking oil or lard. And yeah, I've got some possum fat to mix it with. And yeah, basically how you do that is you just cook the fat, you just put it all in a pot, slowly cook it, and that'll just render down into a nice liquid. Then you can pour it into a jar and just use that as your cooking oil. It's really good, especially if you've used wild animal fat. And yeah, really nice flavour. Adds a nice flavour to whatever you cook in it, really. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Alright guys, so that pretty much brings us to the end of this video. It's getting pretty long and the freezer's pretty full now. We've got a nice selection of different meats, lots of organ meats. We're going to make a bit of pate from all the deer liver that we've got. And yeah, we've got heaps of steak, heaps of mince, and a few roasts, and we've got some turkey there. Turkey roasts and turkey breast meat, so that should keep us going for quite a while. And yeah, I'm going to try and film a few more videos like this going forwards, just filling up our freezer again and again, which is just what we do anyway. I'm just going to document it in videos. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, which I hope you did, stick around and there might be a few more similar ones coming up. And yeah, thanks heaps for watching and we'll see you next time. Cheers.